G'day YouTube, 1MJ here and welcome back. Alright, market is down slightly again, so we got up close to that. I think we were at 2.7 trillion there. Now we're down to 2.5 trillion. So the market has continued to retrace. And look, I did say I was expecting Bitcoin to keep coming down a little bit, sort of 58,000, maybe even 57,500. We'll have to wait and see whether it gets there. But look, it's a bit of a mixed bag. While some things aren't doing good, other things are doing amazing. Now, I don't own any SHIB. I'm not buying any SHIB. It's just pumped up way too much. You know, congratulations to anyone who can get on it and make really good money. I wouldn't do it. I did buy some dip today, and that was XRP. And I did that with some profits that I took from Secret Network token. And as you know it, I took profits from Secret Network, and it's continued to go. But I only took a very small amount, so I'm all right with that. And XRP, I still think is an okay buy, at least at $1. Still waiting to see what happens with all the regulation stuff that's got to happen with the SEC. And again, not everyone believes in XRP and it being a banker's coin and all the rest of it. But hey, I like it. I think it's going to do really well when it gets cleared up. I do think a lot of banks and that will probably adopt it, but time will tell. It's never financial advice, as I always say. And that kind of dollar mark, I think I bought it about $1.03 though, $1.04, so it's come down a little bit since then. And again, look, if it keeps going down, then I'm not too worried. I don't think we're in a bear market. As I said yesterday, there's a few things that are going on. Number one, it's big players. They're liquidating all the longs because everyone gets too excited. Boom, and as soon as Bitcoin sells off, everything else sells off as well and drops in price. That's the way it goes. You got to remember, we have options coming up at the end of this week as well. So in like sort of 2 days time for the States, tomorrow for us, there's usually a sell-off right before the end of the month trading in options. And so that's the combination, I believe, of what has led to this. Again, people just got too long, too bullish. Everyone thought, this is it, we're going to the moon from here, and it doesn't work that easy. What you need to remember, and this is a bit of a contradiction, but hear me out, it is and isn't as simple as buy and hold. It is as simple as buy and hold, but this part that's not so simple about that is being able to actually maintain that buy and hold through this kind of stuff, because this is what scares a lot of new buyers out. New investors, they just go, oh my god, it's crashing, it's going to go down even lower, and so they'll sell, and most likely at a loss. So that's the thing. It really is as simple as buy and hold. If you're in good projects, you just buy and hold. It's same as stocks, no real difference, other than these are a whole lot more volatile and new. That's all it is. But if you buy and hold good stocks go up and down, and they can be quite volatile for stocks. They can go up, I don't even know, I don't invest in stocks that much, but they can go up percentages and down percentages. It's just, it doesn't look so bad because it's a stock and they just move gradually and slowly. Crypto doesn't do that. So really, do your research, find good projects, scale into them. Hopefully you've understood charts and cycles and worked out where we are. And then it's as simple as buy and hold. You may have to go through a really brutal bear market. But if you hold, the good projects will eventually come back to those prices and continue to go on. Just like stocks, you can buy a stock at an all-time high and then it goes down. It's probably not going to go down 50% or 90%, although, some stocks have done that, in the past, Amazon and things like that. But eventually they sort themselves out because they're good and they just go up. It's about holding for long enough. But again, that really is the hard part. It's as simple as that, buy and hold, but it's not so simple, because when you see corrections, and this isn't even that big a correction, but people get panicked and spooked and they sell, and particularly with the leverage. I don't like leverage, but I understand why people use it. And a lot of this was the longs getting sorted out, and again, because future CMEs and things like that are coming to a close in the next day or two, and every time it's been like almost clockwork, you can see a bit of a pullback on that Friday, just before the Friday. And so that's Thursday today here in Australia, Wednesday sort of evening, morning, and that's what I believe is coming right now. Anyway, let's move on. Bit of volume there, so people are buying up stuff though, and a lot of it's probably going to Sheeb. Again, look at the Bitcoin price. This was at nearly $64,000, and yeah, that's crypto for you. Gas prices are super high. Again, people jumping in and out of stable coins and doing all sorts of stuff just really got the market spooked, and that's why the gas prices are so high. All right. What's performed well in the last 24 hours? I'm going to say Sheeb's probably done the best. Look at it, it's still going 70%. People are just flocking to it. There's going to be such a big crash in that. I just get the feeling like it's going to be brutal. All right, 1 inch is still pumping. It's been doing well. Safe Moon, Engine Coin, Matic, nice, back to $1.80. Got to get it back to the $2 sort of mark. Aave making a bit of a move, only small. But again, these are the movers. The market is down 3.8%, so it's most likely going to be not quite so pretty for the rest of the market. And now we can see, look at all this double-digit, losses almost right across the board. Just double-digit, 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 still going. We had to get down to, 26 before we get into single digits, and then still a number of high single-digit losses. So again, it's a good retracement, and this is big. Again, whales and that playing their games, and it's not so much games. It's just a game's not a good word, but it's just things that they do to make more money, and it's the noobs. Again, they call it the dumb money and retail money. It's not all retail though, but the new money is what I like to call it. They're not ready. As soon as something goes down, they'll sell for a loss and say, "No, it's all right. This is going to keep going down, and I'll buy in cheaper." Sometimes they get it right. Most of the time they get it wrong. All right, let's go and have a look at the Bitcoin chart. Ton of good stories that I found that I want to bring to you as well. So here we go. Boom. Look at that. What is that? What kind of retracement have we had so far? There we go. We've had a sort of 13% retracement over the last few days. That's not so bad. Again, considering, how much have we sort of come up? Look at that. It's a 60% retracement since the 30th of September. That's only a month. We had a 60%, not retracement, 60% gain. So, a 15% pullback and a 60% gain, that's actually not so bad at all. That's kind of what you'd expect. Like I said, whatever you've gone up by, you can generally expect a retracement of about a third of that. So again, a third of 16 is not quite 15%. It's about 20%. Hence why I said I wouldn't be surprised if Bitcoin comes down a little bit lower. I'd be thinking around 57,000 sort of 500. And that will probably get us to around about a 20% retracement from a 65% increase. There you go. That's around about a third. And again, that's just a very rough guide. That's not an exact science. And again, never financial advice, just my personal opinion from things I've seen and noticed being in the space for 4 years, going on sort of 5 years now. So yeah, really, I'd be looking over the next few days for Bitcoin to, again, come down to 57,500. Could come down lower. Could come down to sort of 55,500. We got to, find, is this going to be the stop, or is it going to be a little bit lower down here? I'm going to say somewhere between 57,500 and 55,500 is where I'd most likely expect to see it, because also what you'll know is that'll probably be somewhere over around about here in the next few days. Let's say around about Friday, and then once options is done, we probably bounce from around about here and then start to go up again. Now, it's not going to just rocket straight up, although it could, but we'll just have to wait and see. All right, couple of stories. Hacks still going on. So Cream Finance hacked for 130 million in another flash loan attack. So again, just be very careful out there in the space. There's so many new fangled dangle products always coming out. I've said this a million times, not a million times, but I've definitely said it a few times. Consider yourself like a VC when you're investing in cryptocurrencies. Everything is so new. Nothing is really a finished project. They're all still in beta. They say they're kind of finished, but not quite there. So again, you're like a VC. You're investing in things that aren't complete, don't have years of history. It absolutely could go to zero. And particularly with this DeFi kind of stuff, like, they're always big. Cream Finance, I don't know if I'd want to put my money in something with the name Cream Finance, but look, it is what it is, and I feel sorry for the people who've lost their money. And it was a hack, so at least it wasn't a rug pull, but $130 million someone's out of pocket. So yeah, be careful in this space. All right, investment firm. This is scary, but also interesting. So an investment firm aims to launch a Bitcoin bear ETF that shorts Bitcoin futures. Now look, if you pick this and time this right, it could be great. You could make a killing. But what do they say about Bitcoin? Don't short it. Don't bet against it. Like, yes, there's about a year where, again, this is if previous history plays out. There's a year where you can do really well on this ETF. But outside of that year, you're going to get hammered. You don't bet against Bitcoin. And we'll have to wait and see now that the institutional money is here. They will probably use this to short it at times, and then to try and buy in cheaper and all the rest of it. So we just got to be careful and keep our eye out. And again, that's why for me, I'm an investor. I can handle the volatility, ups and downs. I like to buy into things in the red. And again, for Bitcoin, 50% discount, anywhere from sort of 30% down to 50%. I think that's going to be the golden ratio going from here forwards, depending if Bitcoin again has this massive blow off top and somehow gets to $250 plus thousand at the end of this cycle, and it's in the next kind of few months, then I think we absolutely could see a 70 to maybe even 80% retracement. But if we get to a blow off top of about 150,000, let's say, I don't think you're going to see a 50 plus % retracement. We could, but that then brings us back to about sort of 75,000. So yeah, maybe still back to about sort of 60,000, 50,000. We'll have to wait and see. But this will be interesting to see how many people want to get in on this ETF. Because again, shorting Bitcoin, it rarely ever pays. Not saying never. Some people, would have made a ton of money from shorting Bitcoin at good times, but I'd say most people have made more money by going, again, I don't want to say long because I don't like leverage trading, but unfortunately, yeah, buying into the upside of Bitcoin and the crypto markets in general. All right, WWE, so World Wrestling, they are getting into the NFT space. And they have gone with Creative Labs. So they're the same people that came out with the NFTs for Masked Singer over in the States and things like that. So again, everyone is coming to this space in one way, shape or another. Voyager Digital, they have partnered up with the Dallas Mavericks. So they're going to be now their brokerage firm for the Dallas Mavericks. So, Dallas Mavericks are owned by Mark Cuban. He's been into crypto for a while and they've been accepting crypto payments, but now they've partnered up with Voyager Digital. So again, the space just continues to grow and grow and grow, and plenty of big business are getting on board. Bank of Spain, look, they're coming out and they're now giving clarity for virtual asset service providers, crypto-related companies. Again, getting that regulation that America's still waiting to get, and a lot of other places around the world are also still waiting to get. But it is slowly coming. So yes, this retracement can be scary, but these kind of retracements happen in the stock market as well. They're just not as big. They're smaller, but that's what you need to remember. Your gains will be less in the stock market, but your losses will also be less in the stock market. So you need to work out what's best for you. Do you have the risk appetite to invest in cryptos? But if you are here and you're still just struggling with the volatility, that's part of crypto. That is the way it is. You can't have the big upsides without the big downsides. But look at what is happening around the world. It's, particularly if you're getting fudded out by someone's going to ban it and, over-regulate it. Look, they probably will regulate certain things really hard, particularly stable coins. I think will get hit pretty hard by regulation worldwide. But really good cryptos that are legit and have real world use cases, I don't think they're going to be hit too hard. They are transformative. Yes, regulation will come. We can't do anything about that. KYC is coming. Anti-money laundering, making sure that, nothing's being used to fund terrorism and all that kind of stuff. That is a guaranteed. We won't be able to get away with that, like it or not. but the space is not going to get banned and crushed, which is a lot of what a lot of people once thought, and a lot of new people coming to the space are still worried about that. Again, never any sort of financial advice, but I don't see crypto getting banned. I really don't. Certain cryptos and dodgy ones, yep, they're going to have all sorts of issues, and particularly stable coins, they're going to be heavily regulated. But I think most governments in that can see that, number one, people want crypto, and number two, how transformative it really is going to be. All right, the CFTC and the SEC are trying to fight over control of crypto. So we saw yesterday that the Treasury were looking at giving SEC the power to be in control of stablecoins. Well, the CFTC has come out and said that they want to actually have the rest of the crypto space. So here, mere days after the Bloomberg report suggested that the Treasury Department was set to give the Securities and Exchange Commission the bulk of responsibility over regulating stablecoins, its sister agency, the CFTC, is making a play to be the primary cop on the beat for the whole crypto sector. I would rather a new entity, a new governing body be created to deal with crypto, but it is what it is, and I guess we'll have to wait and see. You would think it'd be the other way around, that the CFTC would be in control of stablecoins because it's not a commodity, and then again the SEC maybe be in charge of the rest of the crypto space. So it feels like it's back to front and all the rest of it. We'll have to wait and see. Someone's going to have control of it and regulate it. So interesting times ahead. Excuse me. All right, Litecoin. I've been worried about Litecoin, and every now and then you hear something like this and it makes you feel a little bit better, but I just don't know if it's enough for me to stay in Litecoin really long term. It just hasn't performed anywhere near as well as what I thought it would, but I digress. Litecoin transactions near all-time high after gaining ground in consumer finance. So the number of Litecoin transactions has rebounded to over 140,000 in recent days, falling close to a $100,000 mark in early October. 3 days prior, the Litecoin Foundation tweeted the launch of its Litecoin Visa debit card, powered by fintech firm Unbanked. So Litecoin, can it survive? I mean, they are integrating with Cardano, or at least they've been talking about it. It's supposed to happen at some stage. They really do need to, do some work to have that longevity. But again, they're one of the four, you can call them golden coins: Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, and Bitcoin Cash. They've been sort of given the green light. Now, Bitcoin and Ethereum have been deemed not securities. Don't know so much about Litecoin yet or Bitcoin Cash, but it feels like they're probably going to lean that way. And PayPal and again, Visa and MasterCard and everyone, they're getting onto those cryptos. So Litecoin, while it's not performing that well at the moment, it may still be able to come back, but I'm not fully sold on it. I do own some Litecoin, but yeah, it's been one of my worst performers. And look, Stellar Lumens is another one. We'll have to wait and see. It had a lot going for it, but something that I keep in mind is that maybe certain coins are being kept down so the big end of town can get a hold of them, and Litecoin could be one again because it looks like it's been kind of given the green light. Bitcoin Cash as well, not so much Ethereum and Bitcoin because everyone's sort of all over those. Now that's a bit of a kind of conspiracy theory sort of thing, and I don't like to get into conspiracy theories, but I'm just hoping that might be it, that the big end of town are really trying to get positions in Litecoin and Bitcoin Cash. I don't have any Bitcoin Cash, so take that for what it is, but maybe they're trying to get as big a position as they can for when these things do finally get opened up to everyone. Because if the masses come to crypto, they will go through things like PayPal, Visa, MasterCard and things like that. And if they're offering Litecoin, then that probably means a lot of people are going to get into Litecoin. But that is not guaranteed. We will have to wait and see. All right, Citigroup CEA says digital assets will be part of the future financial system. So again, even the old traditional finance, even they can see what's coming, and that's, they don't have a choice. They will simply get left behind if they don't onboard this kind of stuff. I can't remember which bank it is now. I think it was HSBC have been really sort of anti-crypto, and I can tell you their tune is going to change. They will have no choice. Any bank that doesn't get on board, they'll be done for. I think banks, they're going to struggle into the future. They really are, or at least they will be different to how they are now. They're basically going to be automated programs. And again, I don't know if they'll be able to catch up to things like Aave and Compound and all the rest of it, because I think they will be sort of the new banks in the future. But don't get me wrong, I'm not saying banks are going to be gone in 5 to 10 years, but I think 50 to 100, yeah, I think they struggle to be around because everything will be automated. Banks will basically be, again, it's a program, and there'll be, DAOs, decentralized autonomous organizations that kind of run those things, and they will be who you go to for when you're having problems and things like that. But again, that's way down the line, but that's where I see things going. I think I don't know if I'll be around to see those kind of days, but our children and our children's children probably will see a day like that, is my gut feeling. All right, Bitcoin fund worth 200 million gets green light over in Dubai. So again, all these kind of ETFs and ETPs are going to come, and you name it, they are just now popping up all around the world. So again, try not to get shaken out by the movements of the market. This space is growing, and it is starting to grow quite fast. But again, as I said earlier, it really is as easy as just buy and hold. But unfortunately, it's not as easy as just buy and hold, because it's the volatility that it'll catch people. Now, there is most likely going to be another bear market. And, we don't know how bad this bear market could be, but it's going to be bad for most people who haven't been through one and can't handle it. It could be, unfortunately, people will buy in near the top. That's how it just always works. And then they will panic sell as it goes down. But it's easy to say, I won't. But when you've put $10,000 into something, and again, it's not so much the dollar amount, but if you've put, basically everything you could afford into something, and you watch it drop by 30%, you're panicking. You see it at 50% down, human psychology, people will sell. They're not going to be able to hold through those kind of lows. And you can guarantee at 49%, 45% is probably where it turns around. So they only had 5% more to go to the bottom, and then it would have been on the way up. Now that's in Bitcoin. Altcoins, different story. They can drop 70, 80, 99%, and most people cannot handle that kind of volatility. Unfortunately, they will get wrecked, and that's markets in general. It's a sad state of affairs for everyone. All right, look, that's it from me. These are the stories that I found that I thought were pretty interesting, and again, just help remind me of where this space is, where it's going, and to not get so caught up in this kind of stuff. Yep, it hurts, and it's even hard for me to watch my portfolio go up and down the way it does sometimes. But I can tell you, what hurt more was when my portfolio was here and I watched it come down to here. I can tell you, even though I've been in the space for a really long time, even I was thinking, did I get this right? Is this a real bear market? Because remembering, I started to buy back in sort of around about $39,000. And again, I thought it was going to bounce from around about here, 40,000, but it kept going. When I see it wicking down to, sub 30,000s, even I was worried. But I held my conviction, again, for all these kind of stories and listening to people and reading tweets and all sorts of stuff. I stuck to my guns, and now here we are. Now we're waiting to see. The dead cat bounce is gone. The dead cat bounce should have been somewhere around about here if it was going to be a dead cat bounce, and it did look like it might play out. But then again went to here, and even this could be a dead cat bounce. But this is now the possibility of, are we at a double top? And will this roll over? Again, that's not what I'm thinking, but just something to keep in mind. But at the moment, I'm not so sure. Again, it really is that $57,500 to $55,500 level that I wouldn't be surprised for Bitcoin to come down to over the next kind of couple of days for the options to end. But I get the feeling like if it doesn't happen over the weekend, next Monday, we'll start to see more upside. Again, never financial advice, just my personal opinion. Stay safe. Be kind to one another. Pretty hard to be on that gain train at the moment, unless you're in Shiba Inu. And if you're all in on that and making squillions, congratulations to you. And I'll see you next time.